All right. Know that there's probably not gonna be a whole lot of people on here, so I'm not gonna be waiting for people to come to start talking. I'm gonna just start talking, cause let me post this link real quick. All right, like I said, I'm not really gonna be too worried about waiting for people to come on here at first while I'm doing these lives, because these lives are just meant for me to continue being consistent um, in my accountability group. And I know I look rough, all of that, for if you're watching the playback, like whatever. Okay, whatever. But anyways, um, I have spent pretty much all of today working on my mindset. Um, I have realized that I went through a the past 2, maybe 3 years has been a very like negative downward spiral for me, where I really got into depression and anxiety like deep. Here's Kyra. Hello, Kyra. Hello, Kyra. So I really got into like depression and anxiety real deep. Um, and for the longest time, I'm like, I can't figure out like what is happening, because before this time period, even though I was going through a lot, even though my dad passed away, my brother passed away, we was going through the panini. I think it's so funny to call it that, but whatever. Even though we were going through all of that, even though I was homeless, I still was not falling apart every day. I was positive every day. Like, I knew for sure that what I had planned was actually going to happen. So it was just like all of that stuff felt like my life was crumbling down. But at the same time, I was still positive, chasing my goals, doing what I needed to do. And then something happened at some point where I just started to crumble, like mentally. Um, and I think I might have pinpointed when that happened today. And it has to do with my daughter, so I'm not gonna go into details about it. But there was a crisis moment that we had that really made me feel like, oh, you thought you knew what you was doing. You thought you was a good mom. You thought that you was this, black woman in tech, software engineer, doing big things. Like, you thought you got yourself out of homelessness. You got yourself a nice little apartment. Hi. You got yourself a nice little apartment, nice clean, the best clean apartment that you've ever had. You doing big things. You got yourself a car. You thought you was doing big things. Then got into a relationship, all of that. But really, then this thing happened with my daughter, and it was like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. Maybe everything, here's the thing, the ruminating thought that was happening in my head. Maybe everything that everybody was saying about me, or everything that everybody was saying was true. Maybe I'm not a good mom. Maybe I'm not as smart as I think I am. Maybe, I don't belong in this high income career as a in tech. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to business. Like, all of those thoughts just kept like running through my mind, and I started to like really dislike myself. And you know, at one point I had lost, hi, at one point, co-pump. At one point I had lost 170 pounds, okay? And when I lost that weight, um I still didn't really like how my body looked or anything like that. But then after I had my baby and I gained it all back, I really was not, I didn't gain it all back. Um I'm still 100 pounds down, but I gained a whole lot of it back. I still at that point was like disgusted with myself. So, um yeah, like I just started to, so the incident, we'll call it the incident, happened with my daughter, and it made me feel like, oh wait, you thought you had it all together, but really at the end of the day, like you ain't nothing. You're not a good mom, you're not a good person. Like it's like those the thoughts just kept going through my head. It really like it really made me feel like crap about myself, even though it was a crisis that she was going through. Um, and then my relationship kind of, you know, just went downhill. And I was like, I really thought that I was done dealing with this type of stuff in relationships. I thought that I was healed, and I knew better, and I knew how to pick better, and I knew not to get into these type of relationships again. And I was wrong. um and then, you know, I wound up, well, I we planned to have our child. So we had a child, and then I had postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety. I mean, like the stuff just started to pile up, and it was like I had hit my limit. Enough was enough, and I was crumbling mentally. And I could not be positive. I just couldn't be positive no matter how hard I tried. So Wednesday I had therapy, and my therapist was basically like, I was talking to her about like I keep feeling like I'm just doing all of this work for nothing. I'm just, running these three businesses, going to my 9 to 5, taking care of the kids by myself. All of this stuff, I'm doing it for nothing because I did all this work. I accomplished all of these goals that I thought were the goals that I needed to accomplish. And I'm looking at the housing market because I'm trying to buy a house, and I can't even afford the house that I want. So so I can't even afford the house that I want. So I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? I need to get it together because, like, why am I doing? Or really, what was going through my head was, no, like, what's the point of doing all this work and I can't even like grow and prosper and get to the next level? So, so I started feeling like that. I told my therapist that I was feeling like that. And she started basically saying, like, even if you did have the $1.5 million house or all the material things, you're still not going to be happy until you fix your mindset. And I was like, well, I would rather be miserable and sad in a $1.5 million house, or miserable and sad on vacation on the beach, than miserable and sad in the hood. Like, and I don't get what people don't understand about that. So basically, what's it called? So basically, after I had that conversation with her, I still needed to process all those things, but I was just thinking negative about it. But then today in church, my pastor basically was talking about, he's doing a sermon right now that's called You Thought, or That's What I Thought, or something. And as you notice, I keep saying I thought that I was done with dealing with this. I thought that I had done enough work to get to a certain level. I thought I was going to be able to afford the house that I want. I thought. Um, and then today was all about like you reach your limit, you gotta level up, stick your chest out, and speak to God, give it to God, because He will fight your battles. But then you also have to change the loop that's going on in your head. So not only did my therapist say you got to change your mindset on Wednesday, and she also gave me all of these like articles and videos and stuff to look at and things to read and think about neuroplasticity. Um, she gave me all these articles and stuff to look at and think about neuroplasticity, and which is basically just physically rewiring the pathways in your brain so that you stop thinking the way that you normally think and you default to a more positive mindset. So she gave me all of that, and then my pastor starts talking about changing the loop that you're on. So the example that he gave is that he was on a loop of this is gonna end in failure, this is gonna end in failure, this is gonna end in failure. But he had to change that loop to this may end in failure, but that doesn't make me a failure. This may end in failure, but um it could also be a prosperous thing. And like this may end in failure, but we still gonna succeed. Like we still gonna push forward. We still gonna do this thing. So he had that loop changed in his mind, and basically that's neuroplasticity. Um, and then I've always been big on manifestation, and it's funny because I just posted something to my manifestation highlight on my IG yet last night. And I'm always been big on manifestation and just like really um asking for what the thing that you want, believing that it's already on its way to you, or that you already have it, or that you already are that person that deserves that, and then just receiving it. So I'm big on that. But all of these things are basically neuroplasticity, and there's like science behind it, and there's research behind it, and so that's like, I feel like that just kind of like pushed me in the right direction. So all day today I've kind of just been working on that, and just understanding that like I am my birthday is in February 7th. Why did I forget my own birthday? But my birthday is February 7th. And I am. Oh, I am going to be buying a house by my birthday. I am. And the crazy part about it is I'm like, oh, I need to get my income up. I need to get my income up. I need to get my income up. Even if I took the next 6 months and actually got my income up, they're still not going to consider that as part of the income for to qualify for the mortgage. So I just had to like reframe the thought of, okay, this is not impossible. I could actually do it a different way. And so I'll show y'all how I actually go about doing that. But I just got to do it a different way. I got to come up with a nice size down payment, and we going to make it work. We are going to make it work. So that's one thing. So yeah, so I'm going to do the work. I'm definitely purchasing a house by my birthday. Um and I'm definitely going to lose another 100 pounds. I don't even think I need to lose 100 pounds. I think it's like 70. So I'm gonna definitely lose 70 pounds. Um and my kids are amazing. Like, we about to go on college tours for Maya, And so we done made a list of colleges. So we're gonna start going on the college tours. I'm gonna film that, and y'all will see that. And I'm trying to get her prepared to be an adult. And then this little one here, this little toddler that I have, I'm gonna start preparing her. She already knows her colors. She already speaks like 50 words. I'm just gonna start preparing her to go to preschool. But yeah, we about to get this. Like, this is, I'm putting down the negative thoughts today. I'm changing my mindset today. And I'm understanding today that all of everything that I want, it's already coming to me. It's already mine. Everything that I want and dream of, I don't know how it's going to manifest itself, but it will. And it'll probably be even better than what I can dream of. So, yeah, that's what I'm working on when it comes to my mindset, neuroplasticity, manifestation, changing the loop, however way you want to put it. That's what I'm working on. So I just wanted to come on here real quick and go live for a little bit so that I can be um so that I can keep up with our every other day schedule that I'm on right now, for posting or going live, in order for me to be on my accountability group. But if you are here for the first time and you've never come to and seen any of Desi Quinn Journey's videos, please go ahead and check out my videos. I am a single mom, an entrepreneur with 3 businesses, um, a 9 to 5 as a software engineer, and yeah, I am just working on my consistency right now. And I'm working on some projects in the background. And I'm working on buying a house and improving my life. And I'm just documenting all of those things in the hopes that I inspire somebody out there to also work towards improving their life and get on their own journey. So, subscribe, check out my other videos, turn on that notification bell if you want to see if I flop and fall or if I prosper. And I will see y'all on the next one. I don't know how to end this.